Hey, beautiful humans. Good evening from New Zealand. It's actually getting dark here, and I'm just jumping on this video and chilling in my bed, as you can tell, just having a rest. Yeah, it's getting dark. But I wanted to jump on this video and tell you reason. Oh shit, I forgot the number 79.5 or 98.5 or 89.5 why I'm excited about the Healy. And this one is to do with, I'm actually sitting here on my computer reading up about all the geeky things. I actually studied health science, so this is stuff I learnt a lot of years ago. 2010, I think. Gosh, 10 years ago I started my health science degree, so I'm not super au fait with all the things now, and I remember my anatomy and physiology classes, and it was fascinating, but it's not my greatest strength. Behavioral science and the psychological sciences is more my thing, but I'm still super passionate about the immune response and inflammation, etc. And I have a good understanding of it, but I'm not the best at articulating it. So I'm going to read you a little bit. But why I'm actually excited about the Healy today is because, as you can see, I'm in bed. I'm feeling pretty run down. I've been hustling and pushing myself a lot lately. I was just sharing with a friend this morning quite vulnerably that when I'm passionate about something, I will override my body and what it needs and what it wants and the nurture that it requires to just hustle. I will. And that's how my life was pre-multiple sclerosis, and what I can feel myself creeping into when I get super excited and passionate about stuff. So it's something I have to be really, really mindful of, because my nervous system capacity isn't like everybody else's. And if I think it is, I'm kidding myself. So anyway, I'm resting right now, and I was thinking about Healy, and I was like, do you know what is incredible about it? It's that for me, and for many of you, is that it will allow us to relax a little bit with our protocols of our health. If you're like me and you, even if I didn't have, an autoimmune situation, like I I'm still passionate about health regardless. I was passionate about health before this even happened, many years ago. But so I'll always take pride in taking care of this freaking epic body I live in for as long as I shall live, because it allows me to do epic shit. But it takes work, right? It takes a lot of work to thrive. And as many of you have heard following my story, I do a lot. I eat a certain way and don't eat a certain way, and I do breath work every morning, and I do ice baths and cold exposure, and I do all these practices. I do emotional clearing and releasing, and that's the work that I do with clients, and that's the work that I do on myself. I do trauma release, I do nervous system repatterning and reprogramming so that my stress response is not like always active and my body's not perceiving it's under threat, etc., which will tie into what I'm about to share. So there's so much that and emotional releasing is another one as well, like being able to, and I just had a cry like 10 minutes ago. Hey, beautiful, thanks for jumping on. Hey, Jack, I just had a cry about 10 minutes ago and again released another layer of emotions. So that can help our, nervous system relax, calm, go back into the parasympathetic response, which is the rest, digest, heal space. And what I'm super excited about with the Healy is and I'll share with you what it does in a sec, but is that I hustle to keep my health at a certain level, and you guys might too. I do so much stuff, and it's fucking tiring. It's so tiring just to keep myself healthy. And I was thinking about that today, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to let go a bit. And how amazing will that be when right now I've got a bit of a sore throat, which I'm prone to because I have the, what is it called, Danny? My brain, it escapes me. Streptococcus virus thing. Strep infection. That will be in my system my whole life. So I'm predisposed to, from that, I'm vulnerable to sore throats. So that's always like my immune system vulnerability. And that will kick off as like the first sign that I'm run down. And so I always have to keep my inflammation levels really, really low to deal with stuff like that, so I don't get ear infections, throat infections, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. So my immune system's sensitive and vulnerable. Danny, where are you going? And I'm also tired right now. So I'm trying to do this video and I'm tired. That's why I'm excited about the Healy as well, because I could run an energy program. But the fact that I will be able to be supported by this frequency device, my cells will be able to be supported by this frequency device. The frequency being delivered to the cells, which, what's it called? The ATP, the energy for the cells. The mitochondria functioning will be affected, etc. And at a most basic level, that's where, sorry, my thing's just flipping up, that's where the frequency is working at. So it's the causal level of our health and our immunity and thriving, right? So I will be able to maybe potentially, this is the exciting thing, not hustle as much because of the support in that way. And what I've been reading, and I'll get to the point here, is all to do with, and this is where you get your science brain on, is all to do with cytokines. And I heard about, because there's a cool live blood analysis video floating around, which is all to do with the Healy, and it's an impact on live blood, or a person's body measured by live blood. Sorry, should I say? I probably shouldn't be doing this video when I'm this tired today. Especially trying to explain science stuff. Danny. But the video that's floating around, which I can link you to below this one, is, so a live blood sample has been taken from a patient or a person. They have run the immune program of the Healy for 1 hour, and then their live blood is completely different. Their red blood cells are completely different. Inflammation is dropped in the blood just after 1 hour of running the program. Now, I went to a practitioner 2 years ago for that exact same thing, and I did a protocol for 4 months of eating all the things and not eating all the things. Supplements, thousands and thousands of dollars, and hard work and effort. And if I think of that, I'm like, holy heck. How cool would it be to run a 1 hour immune program and have the same effect of a 4-month protocol? Like, that's literally nuts. And so the last little piece I'm going to share to do with the Healy frequency device is to do with cytokines, and this is actually relevant to the coronavirus. So I'm going to read to you. This is quite fun, being on a Facebook Live and not having to say all the information myself, just read. Okay, so diseases such as the COVID and influenza can be fatal due to an overreaction of the body's immune system called a cytokine storm. And what cytokines are small proteins released by many different cells in the body, including those of the immune system. They coordinate the body's response against an infection and trigger inflammation. So we kind of want an inflammatory response initially, like it's actually helping us. Fun fact, the name cytokine is derived from the Greek words for cell, cyto, and movement, kinos. But sometimes the body's response to infection can go into overdrive. And then it gives examples like SARS, like coronavirus. When diseases like that or viruses like that enter the lungs, it triggers an immune response, attracting immune cells to the region to attack the virus, resulting in localized inflammation. So again, that's what you want to happen because it's the body's response to help fight it. But in some patients, excessive or uncontrolled levels of cytokines are released, which then activate more immune cells, resulting in hyperinflammation. And obviously, this can seriously harm or even kill a person. Cytokine storms are common complications, not only for COVID, of course, and people that catch the flu, etc., but other respiratory diseases. And they're also associated with non-infectious diseases, such as multiple sclerosis, which is what I have been diagnosed with, and pancreatitis, as just examples of non-infectious diseases. So people that have autoimmune diseases have over or hyperactive inflammatory responses and immune systems. So this also explains why some people if you've got a inflammatory response, it explains how some people wouldn't even know that they've got the coronavirus, and some people do. And some people get like really severe reactions and are on respirators, etc. And some people are fine. So what I wanted to share to do with these exciting things called cytokines that you already just learnt about is that just like the live blood analysis measure, which I talked about before, and the person running a 1 hour immune program on the Healy frequency device, and having the same results that I did with 4 months of protocols and effort and hustle, it has been shown with frequency therapy to reduce cytokine levels takes 1 hour of, God, Danny, brain. Okay, go back to the start. To reduce cytokine levels, it takes, oh my God, yeah, I've got it right now. 2 to 3 months using drug therapy, using medication, drugs to bring cytokine levels down, and it takes 1 hour using frequency therapy. So that's the equivalent. It's exactly the same as what I was talking about earlier in the video. And this device, the Healy, we can have access to it. I'm waiting for mine to come to my house right now. Hopefully it will arrive. I've been raining every single day, guys. But, oh my gosh, a courier. Oh, I was on a voice message to my friends. And a courier pulled up to the house opposite mine this afternoon. I was sitting in the sun and I heard the courier van. I literally stopped in the middle of the voice message and I was like, courier, oh my God. I ran out to the road and it was for the other house across the road, not my house. So I'm pretty sad, but that's okay. It's coming. But basically what I'm excited about is that I will be able to deliver these frequencies to my body, and you can deliver these frequencies to your body in the comfort of your own home while you're tapping on your laptop or binge watching Netflix, which I'll probably do shortly to chill out and turn my hyperactive chatterbox Danny off. I talk really fast when I talk about the Healy, by the way. But that's what's possible. Like, we can support ourselves and we can heal. I will still continue to eat a certain way. I will still continue to do my ice baths and breath work because they make me feel freaking epic. And side note, your cytokine levels are impacted through breath work and through ice or cold exposure. So it's happening anyway. I'm doing it anyway. But like, how could it get more epic, you know? And it's like, what's possible? And should I leave this for another video? No, I'll just mention it now in a sentence. What is super cool about the Healy is it's a passive thing, right? You connect your wristbands to the, hey Sam, how are you, my friend? You connect yourself to the Healy frequency device through wristbands, which deliver the frequency to your body and your system. And you can be, like I just said, watching Netflix. It's a passive treatment, if you will. So a lot of people, let's get real, don't have the motivation or the self-worth, let's get real, to commit to themselves at the level that many need to really, really heal and thrive. It's a thing, you know? So it's a relatively passive way of supporting our body systems. And I do always advocate for doing way more than something just like using the Healy. But at a minimum, like, you could start there. And that's the thing. For some people, it will be the entry level to many other, like, you know, self-love practices, self-healing practices, wellness practices. So it can be the chicken or the egg. That's all for me tonight. I want to stop talking about cytokines, but wasn't it fun, guys? Wasn't it fun? If this is interesting to you, if the things I'm sharing about the Healy are interesting to you and you'd like some more information, give me a buzz. I can flick some to you. Otherwise, have a beautiful evening, and I'm going to clock off my brain, turn my brain off with the key. Can you do that? I wish you could. And I'm going to binge watch a little bit of some reality TV. It's my guilty pleasure to zone out. All right, I'll jump back in with a video again soon. Lots of love.